Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of rare British coins. Collectors around the world are constantly searching for valuable pieces that might still be hiding in old collections, coin jars, or inherited boxes. Some ordinary-looking coins can actually be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their year, mint mark, rarity, and condition. In today's video, we will explore the top 5 most valuable coins from the United Kingdom, including the 10 pence, 2 shillings, 1 penny, 50 pence, and the famous half crown. We'll also look at how different conditions and mint variations can dramatically affect their value in the collector market. Let's get started. First up, the 1968 United Kingdom 10 pence coin. Many collectors and coin enthusiasts wonder whether this old coin could be worth a significant amount of money today. If you have one sitting in a coin jar, an old drawer, or part of a collection, you might be curious about its rarity and its value in today's collector market. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the history of the coin, its unique design features, its rarity in circulated or damaged condition, and the auction market value in US dollars. The 1968 10 pence coin holds a special place in British currency history. It was introduced as part of the United Kingdom's preparation for decimalisation, which officially happened in 1971. Before that time, the country used a complicated system of pounds, shillings, and pence. The 10 pence coin was released 3 years earlier to help the public gradually adjust to the new decimal system. Interestingly, the first 10p coins issued in 1968 were the same size and value as the old 2-shilling florin, allowing them to circulate alongside the older coins during the transition period. This clever move helped people adapt to the new currency without confusion. The coin was produced in very large numbers, with an estimated 336,143,250 coins minted in 1968, making it one of the most widely produced early decimal coins in British history. The 1968 United Kingdom 10 pence coin has several distinctive characteristics that make it recognizable to collectors. On the obverse side of the coin, you will find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which appeared on many British coins during her reign. This portrait represents the authority of the British monarchy and the long tradition of featuring the monarch on national currency. On the reverse side, the coin features a crowned lion design. This symbol represents strength, power, and the royal heritage of the United Kingdom. The design was created by artist Christopher Ironside and became iconic among early decimal coins. The coin itself is made from cupronickel, a metal alloy composed mainly of copper and nickel. It weighs approximately 11.31 grams, measures 28.5 millimeters in diameter, and has a milled edge. These specifications made it identical in size to the older florin coin it replaced. Because of its relatively large size compared to modern 10p coins, collectors often refer to it as the large 10 pence. Now let's talk about rarity. Although the 1968 10 pence coin is historically important, it is not considered extremely rare. The reason is simple. The Royal Mint produced hundreds of millions of them, meaning many examples still exist today. When a coin is in circulated or damaged condition, its value usually drops significantly. Circulated coins often show scratches, fading details, and general wear from years of use in everyday transactions. For a coin like the 1968 10 pence, heavy circulation usually means the coin is mainly valued as a collectible curiosity rather than a high-value rarity. However, collectors may still seek out these coins for historical reasons, especially because they represent the very first generation of decimal British coinage. Coins with unusual errors, unique coloration, or special minting defects can sometimes sell for higher prices at auctions. So how much is a 1968 10 pence coin worth today? In most cases, a circulated example is worth around its face value or slightly above, because of the large number that were minted. Some collectors might pay about 50 cents to $1 for a typical circulated coin. If the coin is in uncirculated condition, meaning it has little or no wear, it can reach a higher value. Price guides suggest that high-grade mint state coins may sell for around £1 of 50 pence to £3, which is roughly $2 to $4 depending on exchange rates. Coins in extremely high grades, certified by professional grading services, could sometimes bring slightly higher prices at specialized auctions. But generally speaking, the 1968 10 pence coin is valued more for its historical significance than for its monetary worth. If you happen to own a 1968 10 pence coin, here are a few tips that can help you determine whether it might be worth more than average. First, examine the coin carefully for minting errors or unusual features. Errors such as double strikes, off-center designs, or unusual metal color can make a coin far more valuable. Second, check the condition of the coin. Coins with sharp details, minimal scratches, and original shine are much more attractive to collectors. Third, consider storing the coin properly. Keeping it in a protective holder or coin album can prevent further damage and preserve its condition over time. Finally, if you believe your coin might be special, you can have it evaluated by a professional coin dealer or grading service. The 1968 United Kingdom 10 pence coin may not be one of the rarest coins in the world, but it represents an important moment in British monetary history. As one of the first coins issued for the country's decimal currency system, it symbolizes a major transformation in the way people handled money in the United Kingdom. While most circulated examples are worth only a few dollars today, the coin remains an interesting collectible for numismatists and history lovers alike. And who knows, if you find one in exceptional condition or with a rare minting error, it could still surprise you with a higher auction value. Next up, the 1964 2 shillings coin, also known as the florin, British coin. Many collectors and beginners often wonder if this coin, especially when found in dirty or circulated condition, could be valuable. The coin is over 60 years old, and many examples still appear in old collections, coin jars, or inherited coin albums. In this video, we will explore the history of the 1964 2 shillings coin, its unique design features, how rare it really is, and how much collectors are willing to pay for it at auctions today in US dollars. The 2 shillings coin, commonly called the florin, was an important denomination in the old British pre-decimal currency system. Before decimalisation, £1 sterling contained 20 shillings, and each shilling had 12 pence. The florin therefore represented 1/10 of a pound, or 24 old pence. The 1964 issue was struck during the reign of Elizabeth II and was produced by the Royal Mint in London. The florin had already been in use since the 19th century, but the design used in the 1960s was introduced in 1953 shortly after Queen Elizabeth II came to the throne. Interestingly, when the United Kingdom changed its currency to a decimal system in 1971, the florin's value was equivalent to the new 10 pence coin. And these coins continued circulating alongside decimal coins until 1993. The 1964 2 shillings coin has several distinctive characteristics that make it recognizable to collectors. On the obverse side, the coin features the young portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the sculptor Mary Gillick. The Queen is shown wearing a laurel wreath, and around the portrait is the Latin inscription meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. On the reverse side, the coin displays a symbolic design representing the nations of the United Kingdom. At the centre is the Tudor rose, surrounded by floral emblems, the thistle for Scotland, the shamrock for Ireland, and the leek for Wales. The words 2 shillings and the date 1964 appear around the design. In terms of physical specifications, the coin has a diameter of about 28.5 millimeters, weighs roughly 11.3 grams, and is made from cupronickel, a durable metal alloy commonly used in circulating coins during that era. Now let's talk about rarity. Many people assume that because a coin is old, it must automatically be rare and valuable. However, the reality is different for the 1964 2 shillings coin. Approximately 16 million coins were minted in 1964, which means the coin is considered fairly common among collectors. When a coin is in dirty, worn, or damaged condition, its value usually drops significantly. Collectors prefer coins that are clean, well-preserved, and show sharp details. A heavily circulated coin with scratches, dirt buildup, or worn surfaces is typically valued mainly as a historical collectible rather than a rare investment piece. However, there is still collector interest in these coins, especially for beginners building a collection of British pre-decimal currency. Even a worn example can still have educational and historical value. So, how much is a 1964 2 shillings coin worth today? According to coin value guides, the price depends largely on the coin's condition. A heavily circulated or dirty example may sell for around 5 pence to 30 pence, while better preserved pieces can reach a few pounds in US dollars. This roughly translates to very worn, dirty condition, about 10 cents to 40 cents moderate circulated condition, about 50 cents to $1 uncirculated condition, up to $4 or more depending on quality on online marketplaces and auctions. Common circulated examples sometimes sell for just a few dollars, mainly purchased by collectors who want to complete a full year set. If you own a 1964 2 shillings coin or are thinking about collecting one, here are a few helpful tips. First, never clean old coins aggressively. Cleaning can scratch the surface and actually reduce the coin's value. Second, always check the condition and detail of the design. Coins with clearer portraits, readable lettering, and minimal wear are worth more. Third, research auction results and coin catalogs before selling. Even common coins sometimes sell for slightly higher prices if they are in exceptional condition. Finally, consider collecting the entire series of British florins, as completing a historical set can be more rewarding than owning just a single coin. To sum up, the 1964 United Kingdom 2 shillings coin is an interesting piece of British monetary history from the early years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. While it is not considered extremely rare due to its relatively high mintage, it remains a popular collectible among coin enthusiasts who enjoy pre-decimal British currency in dirty or heavily circulated condition. The coin's value is usually modest, often worth less than $1. However, in better condition it can reach a few dollars and still holds historical significance as part of Britain's old currency system. Next up, the 1977 United Kingdom 50 pence coin. While at first glance this coin might look like a common piece of change, collectors often wonder if certain years or conditions can make it valuable. In this video, we will explore the history, design, rarity, and the potential auction market value of the 1977 50 pence coin, especially when it is found in bad or heavily circulated condition. By the end of the video, you'll know whether this coin is worth saving or selling. The British 50 pence coin was first introduced in 1969 as part of the United Kingdom's transition to a decimal currency system. It replaced the old 10-shilling banknote and quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in circulation. One of the most distinctive features of the 50 pence coin is its seven-sided shape, technically called an equilateral curve heptagon, which allows the coin to roll smoothly in machines while still being easy to identify by touch. The 1977 issue of the coin was produced during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II and was struck at the Royal Mint in Llantrysant, Wales. During that year, approximately 49 million coins were minted, meaning it was produced in relatively large numbers for circulation. Because of this high mintage, the 1977 50 pence coin is generally considered common compared to some rare commemorative 50p coins released in later decades. The 1977 United Kingdom 50 pence coin is made from cupronickel, a durable alloy of copper and nickel used for many modern coins. It weighs about 13.5 grams and has a diameter of around 30 millimeters. On the obverse side of the coin, you will find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, along with the inscription identifying the monarch. The reverse side features the iconic image of Britannia, the traditional female personification of Britain, holding a trident and shield while seated beside a lion. This design symbolized strength, stability, and national pride. Another distinctive characteristic is the large seven-sided shape, which was revolutionary at the time of its introduction. The shape ensured the coin could be easily distinguished from other denominations even without looking at it. When it comes to rarity, the 1977 50 pence coin is generally not considered rare, mainly because nearly 50 million pieces were produced for circulation. Coins with such high mintages are usually easy to find, especially in circulated condition. However, collectors still appreciate coins from the 1970s because they represent the early years of Britain's decimal currency system. Even if the coin is scratched, worn, or discolored, some collectors keep them for historical interest or to complete date collections and bad condition. The coin typically shows heavy wear, faded details, or surface damage. While this significantly reduces collector value, it still retains interest among beginners who want affordable vintage British coins. Now let's talk about the most important question: how much is a 1977 50 pence coin worth? According to coin value guides and collector market estimates, the value of this coin depends greatly on its condition. In general bad or heavily circulated condition, around $1.70 to $2.00 average circulated condition, around $2 to $3 brilliant uncirculated condition, around $4 to $8 or slightly more. These values are approximate and can vary depending on the collector market and auction demand. Most auction listings for common circulated examples sell for only a few dollars, but coins with unusual minting errors, exceptional preservation, or historical provenance can sometimes attract higher bids. If you have a 1977 50 pence coin and are wondering whether it might be valuable, here are a few helpful tips. First, always check the condition of the coin. Coins with sharp details and minimal wear are far more valuable than those that are scratched or damaged. Second, look carefully for minting errors, such as unusual strikes, off-center designs, or double stamping. Error coins can sometimes be worth much more than normal examples. Third, avoid cleaning your coin. Cleaning can remove the natural patina and significantly reduce collector value. Finally, if you believe your coin might be special, consider having it evaluated by a professional coin dealer or grading service before selling it. In conclusion, the 1977 United Kingdom 50 pence coin is an interesting piece of British currency history. Although it is not particularly rare due to its large mintage, it remains a collectible coin for enthusiasts of early decimal coinage. In bad condition, the coin usually sells for only a few dollars, but it still holds value as a historical artifact from the 1970s. If you happen to find one in your collection, it may not make you rich, but it is certainly a fascinating reminder of Britain's transition to modern coinage. Next up, the United Kingdom 1 penny 1967. Even though this coin might appear ordinary at first glance, especially in fine or circulated condition, it still holds historical importance and collector value. Many coin enthusiasts search through old collections and coin jars hoping to find pieces like this. In today's video, we'll explore the history, design, rarity, and the auction market value of the 1967 British 1 penny, and how much it could be worth in US dollars today. Let's dive in. The 1967 United Kingdom 1 penny was issued during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, several years before Britain switched to the decimal currency system in 1971. At that time, the British monetary system was quite complex, consisting of pounds, shillings, and pence. The penny was an important everyday coin used in daily transactions throughout the country. The 1967 penny was struck by the Royal Mint, which has produced British coinage for centuries. Coins of this era were made primarily from bronze, composed of copper, tin, and zinc. Millions of pennies were minted in 1967 to meet the demands of circulation, making them common in everyday use at the time. However, decades later, surviving coins in collectible condition have gained interest among coin collectors and numismatists. One of the most recognizable aspects of the 1967 British penny is its classic design. On the obverse, the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. The inscription surrounding the portrait reads Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina FD, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the reverse, the coin displays the famous image of Britannia, a symbol of British strength and maritime heritage. Britannia is shown seated with a trident in one hand and a shield beside her, overlooking the sea. The denomination 1 penny appears above the design, while the year 1967 is placed below. The coin measures about 30.8 millimeters in diameter and weighs approximately 9.45 grams, making it one of the larger bronze coins produced by the United Kingdom at the time. Its bold design and historical symbolism make it a favorite among collectors. Although the 1967 penny was produced in very large numbers, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Coins that have been heavily circulated often show wear, scratches, or discoloration. In fine condition, the major details of the design are still visible, but there is clear evidence of circulation. Even in damaged or worn condition, some collectors still seek these coins to complete date collections of British pennies. Many people collect pennies from each year of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, which helps maintain demand for coins like the 1967 penny. While it is not considered extremely rare, its historical era and classic design keep it interesting to collectors around the world. When it comes to value, the 1967 United Kingdom 1 penny generally remains an affordable collectible. In fine condition, the coin typically sells for around 20 cents to $1 in the collector market. Coins in very fine or extremely fine condition may reach $2 to $5, depending on eye appeal and preservation. If a coin happens to be in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used in circulation and retains its original luster, it could sometimes sell for $10 or more at auctions or online marketplaces. However, most examples found today are circulated and therefore remain inexpensive. Even though the price may seem small, these coins are still valuable from a historical and collectible perspective, especially for beginners entering the world of coin collecting. If you think you might have a 1967 British penny, there are a few important tips to keep in mind. First, always examine the condition of the coin carefully, as the level of wear greatly affects its value. Look for clear details on Britannia and the Queen's portrait. Second, avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce its collector value. Collectors generally prefer coins in their original, untouched condition. Third, store your coins properly in coin holders or protective capsules to prevent further wear or corrosion. Proper storage helps maintain the coin's appearance and long-term value. Finally, if you believe your coin might be in exceptionally good condition, consider having it evaluated by a professional coin dealer or grading service. In conclusion, the 1967 United Kingdom 1 penny may not be one of the rarest coins in British history, but it still carries an important piece of the country's numismatic heritage. With its beautiful Britannia design, connection to the pre-decimal currency system, and association with Queen Elizabeth II, it remains a fascinating collectible for many enthusiasts. Even in fine condition, the coin can still hold modest value in today's market, usually ranging from just a few cents to a few dollars. More importantly, it serves as a reminder that sometimes the most ordinary coins can tell extraordinary stories about history and culture. Next up, the United Kingdom half-crown 1955, a historic coin from the early reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Even though many of these coins were produced for everyday circulation, collectors around the world are still interested in them today. If you have one of these coins tucked away in an old collection or inherited from family, you might be wondering, could it be worth something? In this video, we'll discuss its history, unique design, collector demand, even in damaged condition, and its approximate auction value in US dollars. The half-crown was once an important denomination in British currency. The coin had a value of 2 shillings and sixpence, often written as 2/6, which made it worth 1/8 of a pound in the old pre-decimal monetary system. The half-crown has a long history in Britain, first appearing in the mid-16th century and continuing through many royal reigns. The 1955 half-crown was produced during the early years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, only a few years after her coronation in 1953. It was minted at the Royal Mint in London and was part of the circulating coinage used daily by people across the United Kingdom. By the late 1960s, however, Britain began transitioning toward decimal currency, and the half-crown was eventually discontinued and demonetized in 1970. For collectors today, the 1955 issue represents an interesting piece of British monetary history from the early Elizabethan era. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1955 half-crown is its design. On the front of the coin, you will see the first portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This youthful portrait, created by sculptor Mary Gillick, shows the Queen facing to the right and surrounded by the Latin inscription Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. The reverse side features a crown shield representing the royal coat of arms of the United Kingdom. Within the shield are the symbols of the nations of the UK, 3 lions for England, a lion for Scotland, and a harp representing Northern Ireland. In terms of specifications, the coin is quite large compared to modern coins. It measures about 32 mm in diameter and weighs around 14.2 grams, and it is made from cupronickel, since silver was removed from British circulating coins after 1947. These elegant design details are one reason collectors still admire the coin today. Now let's talk about rarity. The 1955 half-crown is not considered extremely rare because more than 23 million coins were minted that year. However, rarity in coin collecting isn't determined only by the number minted. Condition also plays a huge role. Many coins from the 1950s circulated heavily in everyday transactions, meaning a large number of surviving examples show wear, scratches, or discoloration. Even coins in damaged or heavily circulated condition can still attract interest from collectors who want to complete date sets of British pre-decimal coins. While a worn coin may not be extremely valuable, it still represents a historic artifact from Britain's monetary past. The value of the 1955 United Kingdom half-crown depends mainly on its condition. According to coin price guides, a heavily circulated example might sell for only about 20 pence to 40 pence, which is roughly 25 cents to 50 cents USD. In fine condition, values typically range around £1 to £2, or about $1.20 to $2.50 USD. High-grade uncirculated examples can reach £6 to £8, equivalent to around $7 to $10 and sometimes slightly more in collector auctions. While this coin may not be worth thousands of dollars, pristine examples or complete sets of half-crowns can still sell for higher prices among serious collectors. If you believe you have a 1955 half-crown in your collection, there are a few important tips to keep in mind. First, always examine the coin carefully for its condition. Coins with clear details, minimal scratches, and original shine are typically worth more. Second, avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning may seem like a good idea, but it can actually reduce a coin's value by damaging its natural surface. Third, consider storing the coin in a protective holder or coin album to prevent further wear. Proper storage helps preserve the coin's condition and makes it easier to display or sell in the future. Finally, if you believe your coin is in exceptional condition, it might be worth having it evaluated by a professional coin dealer or grading service. To sum up, the 1955 United Kingdom half-crown is an interesting historical coin from the early reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Although it was produced in large numbers, it remains a popular collectible among fans of British pre-decimal currency. In fine condition, this coin usually sells for only a few dollars, but its true value lies in the history it represents. From its elegant royal design to its place in Britain's old monetary system, the 1955 half-crown offers collectors a tangible connection to the past. So if you happen to find one of these coins in an old jar, a family collection, or even at a flea market, take a closer look. You might just be holding a small but fascinating piece of British history. And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed learning about this coin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video with fellow coin collectors. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.